Good, man. I can't call it, man. How you doing?
I'm good, 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 bro. Damn, bro. Yes, you look good here and on TV. I thought it was just TV, dog.
Yeah, you thought it was a battery.
Oh, snap. Nah, that's all good, man. I was just saying just before you jumped in, man, you have been absolutely murdering it lately, man. Like, yo, it's an absolute pleasure watching you do your thing, man. You really have been
We
killing
stay
it. We're super
working, bro.
proud of you.
We stay
Good,
working,
man.
bro.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's good, bro. But I think a lot of people, you sort of probably appearing on their explore page now, and they don't really know much about you. They probably making a whole lot of assumptions. You know what I mean? So before we get into it, I mean, some of this information I probably already know, but for the benefit of people who are watching, let's first start off, bro, with like where you were born, what your upbringing was like.
Yeah, so I was born in Ethiopia. I'm of South Sudanese heritage. My family fled from Sudan because of the war. And then my mom gave birth to me in Ethiopia in a refugee camp. But then the militia came to the camp that we're at, and we fled from Ethiopia to Kenya, where we eventually got sponsored and brought over to Australia back in 1996.
Oh, snap. So hang on. So technically, you're Ethiopian.
No, I'm Sudanese. I was just born in Ethiopia.
So you don't consider yourself Ethiopian at all?
There's nothing Ethiopian about me if you were to do a DNA test, I mean.
Yeah,
It was just
but
part of me.
would your birth certificate say Ethiopia?
My birth certificate says birthplace is Ethiopia. But
Uh,
I don't have a birth certificate. It's on my passport.
right. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, cool,
yeah.
cool, cool.
We
Snap,
didn't have birth certificates.
for real.
Yeah, this was during war times, man. Like there wasn't no time for papers and stuff like that. Like I'm sure that there would have been some sort of record of my birth, but like yeah, we didn't have a birth certificate. Um,
Snap, bro. Whoa, wow, okay. Damn, I didn't know that, bro. I didn't know that. So,
yeah, just war, man.
1996. Yeah,
1996, we got
so
November
coming to
1996. We got huh?
okay, November 1996. So you land here. What was that like? I imagine it was way different back
It was
then.
a culture shock. It was a culture shock because one up until that point, well, the most important part was up until then we were stateless. So I was born without a state. You know what I mean? We didn't have a country. We didn't have a place to call home. So to get to Australia, knowing that this was it, we didn't have to run no more. Like that was good. It was like a breath of fresh air and a relief. You know what
Yeah. Damn,
I mean?
bro, I didn't know that. Snap. Okay, I made a lot of assumptions as well. Oh, that is absolutely crazy, bro. So, what was that like growing up here? Okay, so now you know it's gonna be home. What state were you in when you first moved?
Perth. Been in Perth ever since.
Okay, so you're in Perth. I
Yeah,
remember when I first came to Perth, when I landed out from South Africa, one of the first things that stood out for me was I saw quite a lot of indigenous people around. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, there's like more so in WA, or if you go up to like Darwin, you'll find some. But in terms of like Sydney, Melbourne, like the indigenous people are like pretty much non-existent, man.
Yeah, it's absolutely
You,
crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
yeah, you got to look for them to find them.
That is true, bro. That's actually true, which is absolutely
Yeah.
crazy. So Perth. Okay, so you started. So I'm guessing around that time you would have been in primary school.
So I was 8 years old. I started primary school in year four, which
Okay.
realistically should have been year five, but because of I didn't do pre-primary, year one, year two, year three, like all of those things that could prepare you for the fourth grade. I wasn't exposed to that, so I started year four instead of year five. I think it was the following year.
Right. Okay. Could you speak English?
We learned English from where when you going. Didn't know a single word.
Snap, bro. Oh my gosh. How long did it take you?
Like anything between like 8 months to a year, where you could communicate enough to venture out by yourself.
Yeah.
Obviously, learning is a lifetime thing. So like you learn more and more as you progressively get older. But I knew enough to be in school and to keep up with other people's grades.
Yeah. Wow, that's
Yeah,
that's phenomenal, bro. That's phenomenal. Like no one would be able to tell right now that when you came here you didn't know how to speak English. But can you speak any other languages other than English?
yeah. I speak Dinka, which is like the native language for the Sudanese.
Yeah.
One over. So Dinka. I'm Dinka born. That's the tribe that we're from.
Oh
So like
no
Dinka.
ways. For real?
Yeah, Dinka is like a heavily It's one of the main languages in Sudan. So it's that and Arabic.
Right.
But
Loaded.
I don't speak Arabic. I know words here and there, but that's because my mom
Yeah.
used to take me to Dubai when she opened up a little clothing business thing, to help her push the trolleys and stuff like that. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see if you can audit my dinka. Engkor bacham.
you want to eat?
Straight out. Okay. Cool,
Yeah,
cool, cool. Yeah, I
yeah.
had a best friend actually who's from Dinka when I first arrived from Australia. So he taught me quite a lot of Dinka words. So I know quite a lot, and obviously, you start
It's
off with the
dope.
bad words, you
It's
know.
dope.
But so in school, was there anything about you that was an indication that you're probably going to get into comedy?
Um, for as long as I can remember, I was the class clown.
Mm,
But that was just me. Period. Anyway, like, whether it was around family events, while we're
yeah,
fleeing, I was
yeah,
always one to make light of situations. Like, I'm that dude
right.
that would make a joke at a funeral. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Right.
Like,
Was that just your personality, or was that you really learning how to deal with, say, trauma? Because some people they do that, right? So for example, I've had people that say that they were the class clown because number one, didn't really know what's happening in the class, like say couldn't speak English, so
comedy,
that's just what they turned
comedy was
to.
comedy was definitely like a coping mechanism. Like, it was easier to smile than cry. You know what I mean? So,
Mm,
like, if you can make light of something, then it took your mind away from whatever circumstances you're dealing with, whether it was war, famine, relocation, home, no food, like whatever. Like, if you can
mm.
make light of it, then that was taking your mind away from actively being like sorry or upset. You know what
Yeah, yeah, most deaf. So was it primary school or high school when you first started having the inception that maybe you can get into comedy?
I mean? 2018 is when I.
You kidding, bro?
Yeah, this
You
wasn't like
kidding?
this isn't like an origin story or like I'm gonna be a
What?
comedian when I grow up. 2018, bro. I entered an amateur stand-up comedy competition, raw comedy. I won, and it was just like, all right, cool. Like, I guess you can make money from this, and then that was it. Like, this wasn't like, oh, let me if I do this. Nah, man. Like, 2018, like, that was it.
What? Bro, that's
Yeah,
phenomenal. That's
yeah.
absolutely incredible. So what did you want to
I,
be when you were in high school, like or in school? What
that's the thing. I didn't know, bro. Like, I had a job working in warehousing for Coles.
mm,
I was on pretty good money, like 70K a year. But it was ugh. Like, I hated it, bro. Like, I'm waking up at 4 a.m. for a 5 a.m. shift. I worked inside
yeah,
of a fridge and a freezer. Like, that's like, this ain't it, man. Like,
yeah.
but the problem is I didn't know what I wanted to do. But
Right, okay.
I just knew this wasn't it.
Okay, okay. So
But
when
then
were
but
you
then
yeah.
one thing that started pushing me more towards, like like I had a depressive state. I state when I didn't know what I wanted to do as well. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
wasn't depressed, but I know I wasn't happy with like the direction my life was going.
Mm,
And
mm.
it happened to happen around the time when this old dude Kevin from Coles, 50, 55, they started reducing our incentive, like our bonus that we would make every week,
Oh, damn.
and his life revolved around that income. You know what I mean? and
Yeah.
uh, and he knew as well. He's 55. Like, what job is he had given Coles, I think, 15 years of his life. What would retirement look like if I was to quit right now? If my back was popped out, like, where would I
Yeah.
work? Where would I work? I don't have nothing else to fall back on. And then I was like, that could be me too. You know what I mean? Like,
Snap. Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
I progressively just started getting a little more depressed about what it is this can be life. Like, my parents really flee those two countries, and like I come here to the place of opportunity to work in a warehouse. Like, so questions
Yeah,
like that start coming out. Plus, I'm a daddy now as well. So, like, yeah,
yeah.
you start questioning things like that, and like through like self-reflection, like, you start looking for other avenues, man. And then God bless my boy Joe White. He had discovered comedy. I saw how much joy it was bringing him. And then he invited me to come out to an open mic, which I had done previously. But then he asked me to do a split bill with him during Fringe
Sorry, what's a
2018.
split bill? What's a split bill?
Half an hour for me, half an hour for him.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, so the bill, but split bill, like, half
Right.
half.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool.
So I was like, yeah, man, I ain't really doing anything with myself anyway. So he helped me structure and write. Around that time as well, when we have writing sessions, he came over to my house. He goes, "Have you applied for Raw Comedy?" I'm like, "What's that?" He's like, "It's only the biggest comedy competition in Australia."
Wow, bro.
And my baby mama at the time was just listening in. She just went into the house, went online, fucking keyed it in, came out like 10 minutes later, goes, "Oh, you're registered for Raw."
Wow.
And yeah, man.
Dude. Oh,
And then
wow, man.
I end up winning it, bro. Like I thought nothing of it.
Dude.
Yeah, they flew me to Melbourne to compete nationally, and I gave it my everything. I fucking killed it as well. And like when I went back to Perth, I was like, all right, I think I just got to try to figure out how to make this comedy thing happen.
That's crazy, bro. You know that sounds like 8 Mile, right? That literally sounds like 8 Mile. Yeah, that's literally 8 Mile right there, bro. You know what I mean? Like you're talking about you don't have an origin story. That's the origin story right there, bro. That's
Well, there you go.
crazy, man.
I never thought of it that way. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible, bro. So all this time, right? So prior to 2018, how had you looked at comedy? Was it specifically just as a consumer? Did you just, or was there always
Yeah,
something
yeah,
in the back
yeah.
of your mind?
No, no, I was just a consumer, bro. Like I love Kings of Comedy. I watch a lot of Def
Mm,
Jam, but I never connected that and myself being within the culture of it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I just always saw myself as I love comedy and it brings me joy. I never
Mm,
thought that I myself, a ex-refugee from South Sudan that lives in Australia, Perth of all isolated places, could ever be
yeah.
within the culture of comedy. But
Damn, bro.
sure enough, like I don't tell anything that I put my mind to. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a quitter,
Yeah.
so that's the thing. Like and like you ain't gonna outwork me either. So it's just a matter of time and how I figure out how to get it done, and then that's it, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So who are like some comics that you're like are super super dope? Because you mentioned Kings of Comedy and Def Jam.
Kings of
Who are like
Comedy
some
right now, I
comics?
fuck with Andrew Schultz. Am I allowed to swear on here?
Yeah, 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 for sure, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Dave Chappelle, Andrew Schultz. I love Patrice O'Neill.
Oh yeah.
There's a gang of them, bro. Like Jamie Foxx. I think Jamie Foxx. I think that nigga's cheating. But like, you ever look at someone and you're just like, all right, so God just used up all my blessings and put them into you, right? Like,
Yeah,
like the guy can
yeah.
sing, he plays the
You
piano,
know
the
what I
guy,
mean?
he's an actor, like he's good looking, like you know what I mean, like Jamie
Yeah.
Foxx just cheating, bro.
Yeah, straight up, straight up. Yeah, yeah. Now that guy's super super talented. What about Eddie Griffin? Have you ever rated Eddie Griffin?
Yeah. I mess with Eddie Griffin, man. I love Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin stuff makes it's thought provoking.
Yeah,
I love comedy like that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Like
What up?
I mold myself around. I can pride myself and say when you come to one of my shows that it's nothing ignorant. Like you walk away with a message, and there's always a message within most of the jokes that I speak about.
Yeah,
Like it's yeah, because I'm quite conscious about what is around us and like the issues that we face in society and like what my upbringing is. Perhaps maybe someone feels useless, so like within my comedy that you can find something to relate to. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. No doubt, no doubt. Are there any topics that you try and avoid?
Nah.
So you'll tackle
Uh,
anything?
I feel that as a comic that we have freedom of speech, and because the reason why is like as a comedian, we're journalists in a
Mm,
way.
mm,
We report what's happening. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Whether even the toughest topics, like you should be able to find something funny in every single topic. It should never be malicious. It should never like be like delivered with malice. It's supposed to bring us together because through laughter we can now talk about it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So
So
with societal problems, like we're talking about some of those topics that you never want to talk about, like murder, rape, like stuff like that. There's people that are sitting there feeling helpless and lost, but the moment that you're able to like deliver it in a way that's like digestible, then they don't feel lost no more because it's like, oh shit, that happened to me. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you're no longer so isolated. Or like for example, what's happening with Israel right now? Like how crazy is it? Like how the roles have reversed from 2 years ago when the shores out of the foot and it was Russia versus Palestine. Everybody
Mm.
sent money
There's Ukraine. Yeah, yeah.
to Ukraine, like every single country. But now in a worse state, we're watching a life genocide happening before our very eyes, seeing kids with no limbs, they're getting amputated. with no anesthesia, hospitals are getting blown, water sources are being cut off, and we're seeing it in real time.
Yeah.
And our leaders are telling us we stand with the Israeli people. Who's we? Like, what about all those protests that are happening right now?
Yeah.
How does that match we? Like, you mean you then? Because you
Yeah.
don't like the government doesn't speak for us right now at this very point in time. Because if they were speaking for us, they would see like half the world is on fire right now, saying let them motherfuckers free.
Yeah.
You
True.
know what I mean?
True. True.
But
Yeah.
the government does not speak for us.
Yeah. No, I'm
So
inclined to agree with you. Yeah.
yeah. So as a comic, like it's our voice that has to be put out there in the front line, because unless we can laugh about it, we can't talk about it then.
Yeah. True. True.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everybody's sensitive and muffled right now. Like, oh, if you say something, you get cancelled. It's like, come on, man. Like, as a human being, seeing this happen, like, it's cowardly for me to be quiet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I got kids, I got family. This could have been my country.
Mm.
You know what I mean? This could have been my country. And if the whole world kept quiet while this happened to my country, like, I'll be heartbroken. I lose faith in humanity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
So it's our voice, our responsibility. So if you've got a voice, you got a platform, you speak about it. I got a platform, I speak about it. Any given opportunity, every given chance I do, is because I came from those circumstances. My country, Sudan, had the longest civil war in the world, like in Africa, at least anyway. 50 years, 5 million people died. Nobody came to our rescue. You know what I mean? So to
Yeah.
see this happening right now in real time with everybody sharing it, it's our responsibility to speak about it.
True. 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 Yeah. One thing that I noticed, yeah, bro, was I think there was one bit of yours that you were talking about gang violence. Now, I think it's Patrice O'Neill who said this, who said that comedy sometimes is, when you hear someone speaking, it gets you thinking. When you started
Yeah,
talking about gang violence, I was like, oh snap, let's see where this is going. Obviously ended up
yeah,
cracking up. I was like, I didn't expect you to tackle it the way that you tackled it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Because
but
because people
mm,
are so quick to condemn and be like, oh, they're here and they're not taking advantage of the Australian dream. Is that, well, wait a second. Let's bring it back. Why are they behaving this way?
mm,
Why is this broken home reflecting in the way that he assimilates in society? Like, rather than shove it to the side and your first initial response is let's deport them. If we're deporting people because of criminal behavior, where do we send you?
good question.
You know what I mean? Where
Good
do we send
question.
you? Because this kid was born in Australia,
Mm,
so his citizenship should not be challenged any different than yours.
yeah.
And it's those kids that are doing it. It's not full grown adults. That African gang bullshit that's going on, these are
Mm,
young 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, been here since like back in the early 90s. They are no different than your kids that you consider Australian. So if your first initial response is let's deport them, the question is, like, help me understand, where do we send you then? Because 1% of the crime is committed by young Africans, yes. But let's address the other 99 is committed by you.
mm,
Let's not worry about that 1%. Let's address your 99. You feel me?
yeah.
And then if you can find a way to make that funny, like I did on national TV, then now we can talk about it.
Right.
Because now we're at the table. Is that cool? Why do we keep saying deport them? Why don't we find out how's things in the household? Is this 17, 18-year-old at home by himself, fending for himself, having to work at McDonald's? His mom's working a night shift, his dad's working day shift. The family's not, it's not a nuclear family. Is this what's affecting this? How do we get more community programs? Like, for most of these young African youths, like, their parents don't have time to take them on Saturday to go kick the football, or to be a part of the basketball team, or like the team that wants to recruit them, which isn't Dandenong, which is 45 minutes away. Their family doesn't have time to do that. Where you have a white nuclear family who don't have to worry about bills and like, oh, my house was passed down from my grandparents, so now I can actually spend more time with the kids, and I have that nuclear household where things are like structured. We don't have that because we start from scratch. We're coming here trying to buy a $700,000 house on a $40,000 wage because of cost of living going up, but our incomes are not. The average income in Australia is about 40,000. The standard house, like mortgage, is 400,000. Something doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So now you gotta have both of your parents working jobs. One works night shifts, so one can drop the kids off to school, and then another one works morning shift. So there's a roster with someone of age to be able to take care of that family unit. But instead now, you're not having that nuclear household where everyone's having dinner together and that family structure. So we got to start thinking about that. So that kid now turns to the streets because no one is there to monitor and to ensure that he's not going down the wrong path, because the parents have only one job and one job only, making sure that the lights don't get fucking switched off.
Right.
We're so quick to judge, but we forget. Most of those people that came in refugee status, we've come here for the dream, but to get the dream requires sacrifice, and sacrifice means not spending time with your family.
Well, then what do you say to people who will then turn around? First of all, I imagine that because of the stages that you've been on, people will look at you as a shining example and be like, hang on a second, like, you're a good example. Like, how can you've been able to make it? Like, so what's wrong with the other kids?
Well, I would be lying if I didn't tell you that I've gone through my trials and tribulations. Like I've had to challenge myself in order to make this happen. Like I've had to sacrifice. Like I spend Christmas by myself sometimes on a flight on the way to work or from work, or I'm in a cabin of a cruise ship on fucking Easter or on my daughter's birthday or family member's birthday that is like high and dear to me. But these are sacrifices I have to make because I didn't start off on second base. I start off on the bench. You know what I mean? So like sacrifices have to be made, and I'm doing all this while the head start that everyone else has got. Like I'm not having to worry about rent, mortgage. Like I can't even dream of a fucking mortgage. But meanwhile, people are always like so quick, but why are they not assimilating? Like first of all, like Australians, like I love Australians, man, but you don't get a cookie for letting refugees in for a problem that you created in the first place. The British Empire, who is your ancestors, came to our country, occupied it, and left it in shambles to the point where 1996 we still didn't have a country. These coups were put in place by the Western propaganda. And I'm not saying this to be like, oh, it's conspiracy. No, this is facts. That stuff is out there. So you don't get a cookie for letting me into a country that wasn't originally yours anyway. I'm here to chase the same dream.
Damn.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it comes to this idea of being cancelled, it's pretty clear, man, you speak your mind. But does that ever cross your mind that, one day you could potentially say something and then, that could kill your opportunities? Because, I mean, we see it happening, right? We see it happening quite a lot. And it's really unfortunate, right? So I hear you about you want to be able to tackle anything. But is that something that crosses your mind from time to time that, like, man, one day I may say the wrong thing and then that might be it. Need to find something else to do.
Yeah, it does cross my mind, but at the same time, like I myself, like I've got tickets on myself, man. Like I know what comes out of my mouth. I know anything that I say is never meant to be malicious. I know it's never meant to be delivered in a way where it's supposed to demean or put anyone down. Like I'm about uplifting and bringing people together. Like sometimes I make like on the fence jokes where it's like who, but you like dissect it. I wouldn't say anything to you that I wouldn't allow you to say to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's never malicious. It's never racial. Where it's like, oh fucking, I wish they weren't here. Like none of the sort. Matter of fact, through my comfortability of how I talk, I'm letting you know it's fine that we are different. Let's celebrate that.
Yeah. Right. So then, what are your thoughts then when you see like Louis C.K. or even, I don't know if you know Matt Rife. Yeah.
That Matt Rife thing that happened when people try to cancel him.
Yeah. What did you think of that joke? Because I cracked up. I don't know.
Yeah. First and foremost, fucking shout out to Matt Rife. That kid's fucking killing it, man.
Yeah.
He put out a world tour. Fucking within 15-20 minutes, every single city sold out. Boom, 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 boom.
Wow.
Boom. You look out Matt Rife, try to buy a ticket for every single ticket sold out.
Damn. Okay. Yeah.
And for him to like for that joke that he made, which was clearly a joke,
Mm.
who the fuck are you to have my career in your hands? Change the fucking channel.
Mm.
You don't like something I said? All right, cool. Don't fuck with me no more. Don't rally people up and be like, oh yeah, let's stop emo from earning a living and feeding his family because I didn't like the one thing that he said. There's plenty of other things in there that you could have found that you didn't like, but you chose that one because it's sat different on your soul. That's like when Dave Chappelle when they tried to cancel him for Sticks and Stone. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
Remember that? It was the transgender community that came against Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
But the craziest thing is, out of that 1 hour special, out of all the things that Dave Chappelle spoke about that could have potentially offended other people, that's what you took out of there because it didn't sit well with your soul.
Mm.
Not everything I say, you're not supposed to agree with me with everything I say. Because that's what makes us individuals. Like, don't push me to think the way that you think because I think the way I think. I'm never gonna try to advocate and have people try to like think the way that I think. No, here's the information, here's my thoughts, and this is my take on it. It's up to you to take your what you take away from that. I provide the information. I don't make you. I don't force it down your throat.
Mm.
These are my views. I don't force my views on you. Don't force your views on me.
Good.
If I make a joke that didn't sit well with you, just remember, we get one take with that mic.
Mm.
That happens live. We get one take with that mic. I'm sure everyone has said something inappropriate at one point or another. The only difference is you got a fucking audience in front of you. Don't prosecute people for fucking having a crack.
Yeah. No, you make a very good point, man. Has the South Sudanese community embraced you in a way where now they feel that you represent them and you have to portray yourself a particular way?
Well, how do I explain? So I love the South Sudanese community. That's my community. I'm gonna keep representing the South Sudanese community till the day I die because that's my people.
Mm.
But the South Sudanese community make less than 7% of my ticket sales. Like my people don't support me the way that they're supposed to be supporting me, especially when I'm at the front line representing them. Like there should be no reason why 80% of my tickets are coming from different nationalities other than my people. Like we should be propping each other up for damn sure. I'm not bitter, I'm not sour, I'm not anything like that. But I'm just saying, just letting it be known. Like when I did that TV show, everyone was in my DMs. Hey, we're gonna be at your next show. Let me know when you come into our city. Like, I'm selling these shows out, but the representation of the consumers that are coming to watch it is not reflective of the people that are in my DMs.
Yeah.
The ones that say that we support you, we got your back. It's not a direct reflection of that.
Now, allow me to play devil's advocate. Could it be a not being able to? I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. Could it be a not being able to make it because of time constraints or financial constraints at all? Could that be a factor?
In most of my posts when I'm like advertising your show, in most cases I do put in there, your finances is an issue. Do not let that get in the way for you enjoying yourself. DM me and I'll compliment it.
Damn. Okay.
So I've taken that off the table.
Have you had anyone actually take advantage of that?
Yeah, for sure. And I'm gonna continue to keep doing that too. Because it's finances should never be in the way for why you can't come and see and enjoy yourself at my show anyway.
Damn, bro. You're a pioneer.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah. How do you because you've dropped some stats. How do you guys keep track of those stats?
What you mean?
Or is it more anecdotal? Is it the fact that when you're on stage and you look at the crowd, you can see that your people on there? So how do you keep track of it?
I can actively see it, but also I'm at the mailing list too.
Ah, right, okay.
When you start seeing like names like Heather, Samantha,
Yeah. But to play devil's advocate yet again, and Dave Chappelle
They
said
put,
this, right? He said that white people are more likely to join the mailing list. Like black people go, they support you, but they don't join the mailing list.
yeah, exactly. Like I said, I'm not bitter. I'm not sour. I'm not none of that. Like
Mm-mm.
my whole thing is I started this comedy thing by myself, and nobody's gonna dictate like how it is that I will succeed in it because I'm gonna get
Yeah.
mine.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's dope, man. You have a very good outlook on life, very good perspective. You know, I think it's a breath of fresh air. You know, it's
Yeah, no, like I went to. It's not just Australia based as well, by the way. Like
mm.
I went to Toronto, this year.
How was
I did
that?
the
How was
Toronto.
that? Yeah, I saw that. How was that?
Yeah, it was good, man. I sold out my whole entire run. Like
That's dope, dog.
yeah, they gave me an extra shirt. Shirt sold out within 8 hours.
Damn.
Yeah, and once again, like out of all the shows that I did, probably had 10 Sydney's people come.
Damn, man. Yeah, it's very interesting, right? So I think, you know, this happens to be a lot of people's story, right? Where they say this, especially for black people, where, you know, once you start reaching those heights where it's now like you're right at the top of the mountain, you're at the peak, it's only then that you'll start seeing people, you know, start supporting you, being very vocal, coming to your shows, you know. But it's kind of like when you start at a grassroots level, for some interesting reason, I don't know why our people don't. It's like they don't. I don't know if it's they don't want to be seen there, or they don't want to be part of the journey, or what is it. But I hear this a lot with creatives as well. You know, I
Yeah,
hear this. Yeah, go ahead.
for whatever reason, like I've never let it affect me, but I've had to put people on check though.
Mm.
Like because I've had people question me. I had just wondered, fuck, where was it, man? I was in I think I was in Adelaide somewhere doing a show,
Mm.
and the guy pulled me aside. He's like, hey, he goes, why don't you do more Dinka related jokes? I'm like, for who? For who? You ain't here.
Mm.
You ain't
Yeah,
here. So what am I doing it for? Like
yeah,
who am I setting them jokes up for? You feel me?
yeah,
Like why would I go through the process of writing all these jokes that only Dinka people will understand or Sudanese people will understand to have no audience members that relate to it?
yeah. That's
You
a
know
good
what I
point.
mean?
Mm.
Like why am I going to town with my pen game? Like with the intricacy that I like and the thought provoking mindset that I have to have in writing my jokes, structuring them, taking them outside, preparing them, taking them to open mics, making sure put this, take that, reject this, put that back in there, add this, put this in the back end. I do this in the first 5 minutes, like all of that. Why would I go through all of that to perform that one joke to one person in the audience that's of Sydney's origin?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have they
You,
ever
you,
have
you,
has the community ever approached you though to like do a show within the community?
nah, nah,
What?
nah.
Nah, dog. Come on.
I got asked to do there was something from Melbourne last year. It was for African like African something. They asked me to MC, but I couldn't because I was touring somewhere else. Um,
Yeah.
so I couldn't do that. But as far as like the Sydney's communities, like no. The
That's
community has
that's
done. The community has
That's
like yeah,
yeah.
like
Now go ahead. Go
rather than
ahead. Go
being
ahead.
like, hey, we're from Sydney. Would love to have you at National Sydney's, whatever. And we'll fly you in. Nah. Hey, we're from Adelaide. Nah. Sydney, Melbourne. Nah. Perth. I live in Perth. Nah.
Wow, bro.
Yeah. It's cool though because
Yeah, I hear you.
like you didn't make me
Mm.
like my income and my the success of my career is not it's not revolved around your bookings, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
does. It's such an interesting thing, man, because I was saying the same thing. So as a musical artist, right? One thing I noticed was when I was on tour, right? Yet again, right? Didn't see a whole lot of African people at the shows, right? But the place would be packed out, you know. And one time
Oh,
I was in Melbourne and I asked someone like, "Yo, like you know, thanks for coming to the show and everything, man. Like, yo, so did you find me online? Did you?" He's like, "Nah, man, I just like to support good music." I was like,
Yeah.
what? You know what I mean? People just rock up, man. Like, it's
Yeah.
incredible, bro.
Yeah, dead ass, man. I've had I've had like festivals where I've done, and there's like old people, like old white people, and I'm looking at in the audience,
Yeah,
trying to trying to gauge where it is I can take this,
yeah.
and more so than not, it's usually I have to just like do my jokes for white people,
Mm,
which I'm grateful to, by the way, because like
mm.
I love everybody, and like I would like to think everybody loves me, and those that don't, hey, I wish you well anyway.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
my comedy is based around bringing people together, not splitting them apart. So
yeah,
if that Afghani kid relates to my material, then I've done my job.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Have you ever bummed on stage, dog?
Every comic bums. Like I'm a firm believer that every 3 months, you should bum. And I only say that because like that means you're trying new stuff, and and you're challenging yourself.
Mm.
Now, if I bomb to the point where it's like complete silence, no. But like I've done shows where I'm like, oh, this ain't going the way I thought it would be.
Yeah, yeah. Have you
Like
seen
bombing,
just sorry,
bombing,
I'll let you go. Oh, actually go ahead, go ahead.
bombing's a part of the job. If you ain't
Mm,
bombing, that means you're using that safe material that you use all the time, that you know it's always going to land, or that's the one that's your go-to. But there's only so much you can use your safe stuff all the time. Because, like, say for example, right? Shout out to the Comics Lounge, by the way. I will be there all week. Yes, I'll be there all week. I was there last night too. I went to go try out some of my new material, which went great, by the way.
dopeness.
Yeah. So, like, so when I come and do my Melbourne run, right?
Mm,
And I'm doing my week at I'm doing my week at the Comics Lounge. Um, if I come and do the same stuff I was doing the last time I came, it's still on land. But then the next time I come, I'm still doing the same stuff. That means I'm not challenging myself.
mm,
And that means anyone that's seen me 3 times now has seen me do the same three stuff. So you ain't taking
okay.
nothing away from you ain't taking nothing from my performance now at this point.
True.
That's like like are you a movie buff?
Am I what?
A movie buff. Like, do you love movies?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Big
Yeah.
time.
Whenever I can't find a movie to pick, I usually just have a go to. Like I watch like the other guys or like Scarface.
Ah, right, got you.
You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm,
Like,
mm, mm.
which I can do all the time, right? Like I can watch
Yeah,
Scarface like, all the time. Because I just love the movie because when I watched it when I was younger, or the other guys like it's like a White Friday. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
those are just safe options. You can
Yeah,
you can pick that on autopilot.
I got you.
With comedy, you don't necessarily want to see the same jokes from the same person being pushed on you because you chose to put Scarface on with the television.
Mm,
But when you're watching a live show and you're seeing the same actor doing the same stuff 3 times, they're making you watch Scarface without you asking for it.
got you.
You know what I
Good
mean?
analogy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So like I actively like I like to whenever I come out here, I've got some new stuff to give that way. Like this guy first he did that thing last time and he's take on this one here. Like how do we go see him for his like shirt? Like I'm actively giving you new product.
So with the bombing process, right? What I wanted to say to you before, I don't know, have you ever seen Bill Burr when he bombed in, I think it was Philadelphia? And then, so because I wanted to understand what is your process like when you bomb? Because I watched Bill Burr, right? He bombed, and then the crowd was basically booing him off stage, right? I think he had 10 minutes to go, right? And he
Yeah,
started ripping the whole crowd, bro. Like,
yeah,
and like he would rip them for like a minute, and then he'd be like, and then
yeah.
he'd keep going, keep going. Have you seen that? Have you seen that?
No, I know, but that is fucking pure classic right there, man.
Yeah,
As a comic, if you're bombing, you gotta own it.
yeah,
Gotta own it. Like I know the club sometimes would rather you get the fuck off the stage,
yeah.
but I'm a firm believer the captain goes down with the ship.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like you got to try and swim your ass out. You know what I mean? Like, all right, so you don't like material? All right, cool. Let me try some crowd work then. Oh, that didn't work. All right, cool. Let me talk about this thing. Like
Yeah.
you gotta exhaust everything before you hit the panic button and like just exit off, because that shows your inability to be able to control the environment.
Right. Now, do you have, you know how you're talking about, I like that whole Scarface analogy, right? Do you have go-to jokes that maybe you have not done for crowds where if you're bombing, you could sort of like pull this and see whether or not that
Oh
works?
yeah, for sure. There's always something in the back burner. Like what I've actively been just doing crowd. Like I've been enjoying crowd work recently.
Mm.
Um, and the reason for that is like nobody wants to be caught with a dick in their hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if shit goes wrong, you need to be able to switch gears. And if material is not what they're going for, like you know when like people just come in and they probably just chose violence and like, hey, fucking today was shit, entertain me. That
Yeah.
mentality.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So now you got to try to fish that out instead of like trying to cram stuff into like, and then the government, like you gotta make sure this guy unfolds his arm before you start getting just more stuff. You know what I mean? Like listen up a little bit. Hey, what's your name? Why you so tight? All right, cool.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We're ready to talk now.
Now, when it comes to crowd work, man, it's always like I went. So I'm South African, yeah. I went to South
Yeah.
Africa one time, bro. Yeah, I was in South Africa and like I went to go because I love stand up, bro. And I went to go watch like local comics, right?
Yeah.
And I was wearing this, man. It's interesting, right? In Australia, it's very popular. It's like this denim jacket, right? It's like short sleeve. Sometimes it's long sleeve, and it's got like the leather arms. You know, in South Africa, they look at it, they're like, "What the hell is that, bro?" Like it's weird for them. It's got like a hoodie, you know.
Okay.
And I was sitting in front, bro. And that guy was ripping me apart, bro. I was cracking up, you know, but at the same time, I was like, damn, I don't want to be here. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, but then the chick that I was sitting next to was like, say something. I was like, are you crazy? Like, that's a comic. Like, I'm gonna say, I'm
Yeah.
gonna take it, right? So I guess my question to you is, have you ever had someone like dare say something back to you, like while you're doing crowd work?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Like that happens all the time. Like, because my audience members can be wild too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I've done like cricket clubs, sports clubs, where like these motherfuckers have been drinking in the sun for
Yeah.
for 6 hours playing a test game of cricket, and then like the game's over now, and they're in the sports club and like, hey, and here's emo. And, you know what I mean?
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now I gotta command that energy from them,
Yeah.
because they want nothing more than to just like babble and talk among themselves, or like they're trying
Mm,
to play pool, or you know what I mean? Once you get that room silent, you got their attention.
gotcha.
You know
Gotcha.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
you're always gonna have a Davo in the fucking audience there. What about the fuck? You know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah.
yeah, like it's just about like how like finding out how to switch gears.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And like
Right.
if you know your material inside out as well, when that happens, you can address that and come back to it.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
hear
if
you.
if you don't trust your product, then like you're gonna be, what about these otters? You know, like you're gonna
Okay.
revert to something that has nothing to do with even the segue is not even right. You know what I mean?
Right, right. I've seen some comics when they're on stage, what they'll do is they will stick things like on the floor to sort of like remind them of, you know, certain things. Is that what you do, or do you try to really know your material? Sort of like, what's your process?
My stuff's I don't even write my stuff, man. Like it's all up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snap. So when you lose your train of thought, because I imagine that will happen from time to time. I mean, as an artist, there have been times where like I've done the song millions of times and I just forget the lyrics.
Yeah.
You know?
Like if that ever happens, like which is very rare, like just stay calm. Um, uh, there's like go to cues that might fucking remind you. Like perhaps even talking to the guy in front of you. Like
Mm-mm.
it'll jog something where there's something that you can like dig into over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like most important thing is just to remain calm.
Right. Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Because
Gotcha.
because when panic sets in, your first initial reaction if a fire was to happen is for you to run around in circles instead of be like, all right, there's a blanket right there. Let me cover the fire.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
before you even move, before you even make an action, like just analyze, take a breath, and then go in.
Gotcha. Bro, I'm really interested. How did Canada receive you, right? Especially coming from Australia, right? I mean,
Canada love me, bro. Canada love me. Like I'm actually going back to Canada.
oh
I
snap,
just
when are
got
you
the
going?
I just got the email yesterday actually. Um, for for
Dopeness.
for Toronto Fringe again.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah. So
Okay. Dope.
I'm doing Toronto Fringe,
Mm,
Edmonton Fringe.
mm-hmm.
Um, um, and then there's one more that I applied for as well. So there's gonna be three festivals, all back to back. Um,
Damn.
I'm just gonna combine them into like 8 shows, like get like a 200 seater, and just
Yeah.
bang, and then just on to the next one and come back because I got some cruise ship obligations up here. I still
Oh wow. Yeah.
I'm booked out until August next year. So like I've got it.
Damn. That's dope, bro.
So I got to work around like
Yeah.
the bookings I already have.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now, in terms of, I guess, sort of like moving away from the stage, right? You're a black dude coming from Australia. Were people actually like Australia? Like, what do you mean Australia? Like, people, do you still get that
Yeah,
reaction when you go overseas?
for sure, for sure. Like you gotta address it too,
Yeah.
because they're expecting something completely different
Mm.
when they're hearing okay, this guy comes all the way from Australia. They've already got like a dude on a kangaroo in their
Yeah.
mind, and then this comes
Yeah.
up and grabs the mic. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So you gotta address that right off the bat.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. Now,
And then
I was gonna say there are a couple of people that have sort of there are a lot. I probably can't go through all the questions, but one of the things that people wanted to ask is the Australia's Got Talent. How did you get involved with that? Were you headhunted? Were you like how did you get your start with that?
yeah, that was crazy, bro. Australia's Got Talent was when preparation meets opportunity.
Okay.
Like I had just done the Melbourne Comedy Festival. I was booked on a show in Sydney called the Running. Oh, sorry, my bad. That's
All
just
good.
my that's just my gimbal fucking just trying to switch off.
Oh, gee.
Yeah. So they I just done the Melbourne Comedy Festival, and I had a spot at a show in Sydney. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you.
Yeah, called the Running Joke.
Okay.
So I flew out of Melbourne in the morning and landed in Sydney at 5:20. Went straight from the airport to my sister's house, dropped my stuff, hopped in an Uber, went to Running Joke, did my spot, and the next morning I got I got a message saying, "Hey, this is Mike. Could you call me back?" So I called back. He's like, "Hey, my name's Mike. I'm from Australia's Got Talent. I'm a producer on that show. I saw you at the Running Joke last night, and I thought you were absolutely brilliant. I was wondering, would you be interested in doing Australia's Got Talent?" I was like, let me talk to my management first, and then I'll get back to you. He said, yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. Spoke to my management. My management was like, hey, it's really up to you, but comics don't win that. Like, like more so, they use comics to fill in the gaps, so
Yeah.
like show the different type of talent that Australia's got, but comics don't win.
Mm.
I went back to Mike. I said, hey, Mike, I spoke to my management. I said, yeah, I'll probably give it a miss, man. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, can I ask why? I was like, oh, my management reckons comics don't win that. And then 2 weeks later, Mike comes back and goes, hey, the last winner of British Got Talent was a comedian. His name was Axel Blake.
Oh snap.
I was like, all right, cool, let's do it, man. Like, that's all I need to hear.
Yeah.
Cool. And then I just began preparing how I was going to win it. he goes, what we need you to do is send us a transcript of the jokes that you want to do
Mm.
for semis, for the auditions. I was like, after audition, he goes, oh, you don't have to do anything, just auditions episode as well. You know what I mean?
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Like I didn't have to do it. I didn't have to fill out no paperwork. I didn't have to do no nothing. Like I was just in.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because they found me, and like between like, oh, I don't know, like back and forth. Like it was just when I said yes, it was all right. 3 weeks from now it starts. I said, oh shit, all right, cool. He said, send me through the transcript of what your jokes are gonna be doing. Just be mindful that the auditions, the semis, and the finals have to be all different jokes. So you need to ensure that you want to do very well in auditions,
Mm.
but you also want to make sure that you got stuff to get you into like the finals, to get you into the semis into the finals.
Makes
So it's
sense. Yeah.
pretty much telling me don't use all your best jokes in the first one, but also don't miss the opportunity by saving your best joke for the last fucking
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, yeah, no worries, man. I got hours of shit anyway. So so for the first time I wrote my jokes out. I wrote audition, semis, finals, and I sent
Yeah.
him ultimately. He said, "Oh, I just needed the audition." He said, "You got?" I said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
So I said it to him, and then I went did the auditions, and I think the night before I had taken like a sleeping tablet because I was like amped.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mouth was dry because we're filming for like 12 hours.
Damn.
We started filming at 7 a.m.
Damn, bro. Yeah.
7 a.m. Show started at 6. They put me second last.
Snap. Okay. Okay.
11 p.m. I was on stage.
Damn, bro.
So at this point, I'm they're pulling me each like which way. Hey, we got to do an interview with the close up. Say, hey, Ricky Lee, we need to do an interview to introduce you. Hey, we got to this, yeah, boom, 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 boom. Long story short, I'm on the side of the stage right now, and they're like, hey, here's my, ladies and gentlemen, Imam Majuk.
Oh, snap.
As I'm walking off, I see my bottle of water.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be up there for 5 minutes. Don't worry. Get up there, and I start getting the thirst. I was getting dry. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when that me running off the, hey, can I
Yeah.
get a, yeah, like that wasn't a part of nothing. Like that was, I
For
was,
real. That wasn't a bit.
yeah, no, bro, that wasn't a bit, man. But me was like, oh, sorry, water's hard for black people to find. That's because I gotta
Yeah.
address this now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I always like, oh, for $1 a day, you can give them clean drinking water. Yeah, that's the comic in me that came
Yeah.
out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Snap, bro. Wow, what an experience, man. I really think that producer really helped you quite a bit, man. He really did, right? It's very
Oh,
interesting how when you're talking
for
about
sure.
this, because with
He
these
got,
shows, as a rapper, it was literally the same thing. Got headhunted, and then literally speak to my management, and they're like, rappers don't really win the show, man. They just want you there to, to fill up the space and whatever. I
yeah,
think that him coming back to you and showing you that, hey, bro, like, look at this
yeah,
guy who's just, I think
yeah.
that was really big. That was really big of him. That was dope.
Mike's my guy, man. Like he called me up a couple months ago, actually. He goes, "Hey, we got this TV show. You'd be great for it." And
Yeah.
because of circumstances and because of like it didn't align with my whatever, I was like, just hit me up when you got something else.
Yeah, yeah. Damn, bro,
Yeah.
you're keeping so busy, man. And I guess for a lot of young comics, right, that are looking up to you, it looks glamorous, right? Is it glamorous? I mean, I know you've mentioned the whole part about you missing birthdays and that, but other than that, is it a very
I
glamorous sort of profession?
I live out of a suitcase in fucking hotel rooms, bro. Like anyone that's important to you is usually somewhere far.
Damn.
But I'm chasing my dreams. I'm loving the process. I'm not like I don't complain about it. I know this is just a step that needs to be done for me to be great. You know what I mean? So like it is what it is. Um, for anyone that's trying to pursue it, follow your dreams. Just learn to love yourself and your own company. Because you'll be spending a lot more time with just yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me something, bro. How has you know, from the outside looking in, you know, I see you on the stage. It looks like, you know, a large cross section of the community has really embraced you, right? But my question is, what about Australian comics? How have they
Okay.
how have they looked at you? How have they embraced you? What has that experience been like with other comics?
I'm respected among my peers, bro. Like and I respect my peers too. Like anyone that started before or after me, if there's any helping hand that I can, any advice, if they're trying to run a joke by me, I'm easily accessible. Um, uh, I've performed with some of the biggest names in the country. Sometimes you feel like imposter syndrome. You're like,
Mm.
fuck, how the fuck am I in the same lineup as Rove McManus and Dave Hughes or like,
Wow,
you
bro.
know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you get
yeah.
those, or how am I performing at the same comedy club that Chris Rock was just in last night? Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
like things like that. But like, like my work speaks for itself, though.
yeah. Mm,
You know
mm,
what I mean?
mm, mm,
Like,
mm,
like
mm.
my body of work for as little as I've been doing it. Like, I pride myself in. You can put me before, or after any act. I'm gonna still hold my own. Um,
Yeah,
uh, yeah, like I'm gonna still have substance. I'm not gonna let the club or myself down. And it's always a party. It's always a vibe when I come on. So like I'm blessed to still keep that energy every single time. Like I'm in my zone before they call my name. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So what do you do when you're not in your zone? You know, I mean, I imagine sometimes you have bad days, bro.
Like a lot of my days are like spent solitary. Like
Mm,
I'm on my computer, like just working or responding to emails or like I do most of my I do most of my like my admin and work on
mm.
Mondays.
Okay.
Um, yeah, admin Monday. Which just ensures that I've got my best foot forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like that means responses to my management or the first initial conversation has already started. That way, by Wednesday, we've got some sort of resolution for whatever it is that we're working on right now.
Mm, mm.
As opposed to if you started on Wednesday, you might not hear back until like Thursday or Friday,
Yeah.
and then with your response, you're not gonna hear anything back until next Monday.
Damn. Okay. Okay.
Yes, so I always start my week off with my admin. So
Yeah. Right. Do you know of any younger African comics coming up? Have you had anyone sort of approach you like, "Hey, bro, I see you killing it. Like, yo, do you have any advice for me?" And if not, what is some advice that you'd give to people? Because for a lot of people, bro, they really look up to you. You know, even if they're not in comedy, you know, they really love what you're doing.
yeah, like I'd like to think that I know a lot of the African comics that are here in Australia. Um, Shout out to my boy Chung. He hit me up. I think it was this year. Just wanted to pick my brain. I caught up with him and just gave him the best advice I could. He opened up for me as well. The 30th of December last year.
Dope.
Um, yeah, like you can see that he's trying to. He's giving his best. You know what I mean, so he's giving it a crack.
Mm,
So I got time
mm.
for Chung. Um, Anisu,
Oh
Brisbane
yeah,
comic.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I had to sit down with her when she was asking me about advice on how does it all work.
Mm.
Like open book, man. Like anyone wants, like you want, like I don't know how much information I can give you, but I can give you what it is that I got. So yeah. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously I can't respond to everybody, but like
Mm,
if someone's
mm.
serious, they're gonna get at me enough times for me to get my attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, cool, cool, cool. As you come to an end, bro, so you're in Melbourne, right? We want to come check you out for sure. Can you tell us a little bit more about, you know, where we can get your shows? Where? Because first of all, I didn't even know that you were doing your material. I thought it was on the 10th.
11th.
Yeah, is it on? It's on the 10th, right?
No, 11th. I'm doing.
Oh,
I'm doing.
11th.
Doing a split bill with a phenomenal Canadian comic, Aaliyah Kanani. She's coming. She comes all the way from Toronto. She's staying in Pittsburgh at the moment, but she gets in tomorrow. So we'll be at the Apollo Cafe in North Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
8 p.m. Tickets are on Eventbrite. Shout out to J&E Events for hooking that up. But yeah, look forward to seeing Melbourne. I love you guys, man. So come on through. Pull up.
Word up, word up. I'm gonna get my ticket as soon as I jump off here, bro. Like 1000%. I definitely want to come check you out. I want to come check
My
out. What did
God.
you say her name was? Kalani?
Aliyah Kanani. ALIYA
Oh yeah, I think
Kanani.
I saw.
KANAN Kanani.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right, bro. It's been an absolute pleasure, man. You know, I'm gonna be very honest with you, bro. Like people submitted like a gazillion questions. I definitely can't go through all of them, and I want to respect your time as well. You know,
And
so
like,
I think
feel free to ask, man. Like I'm
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
There's bro.
There's a lot, huh?
Are you okay?
Give two different answers.
Let me get to. There's some personal ones here, bro. Like people want to know, like you. So you got kids? Are you married?
No, I'm not married. I've got 3 kids to my previous relationship. We're together for about
Yeah.
10 years. Unfortunately, yeah, we're no longer together. But yeah.
Snap, bro. Why does it seem that, you know, this seems to be, because I think you and I are around the same age. I was literally in a relationship as well for someone for 12 years. Didn't work out. You know, I'm just coming across a whole lot of that, man, like where it's happening. Do you think there's a problem with relationships nowadays? Or
Yeah,
what's going on?
there is, man. But like I mentioned earlier as well, man, like that, like the pressure of living as well, man. Like it's not what it used to be. Like the nuclear household doesn't exist no more. You know what I mean? Like back in the day,
Mm-mm-mm.
you could have your wife, you'd go out, fend and go work. She would stay home, look after the kids, the household, like the household, like the cooking. You go out and go do your part. You come back, the house
Mm.
is taken care of. But nowadays, you need 2 paychecks to even survive in this world, man. So like that
Yeah.
nuclear household doesn't even exist.
Right,
And
right. I
yeah,
hear you.
mix that in with the pressure of society, pressures of life, pressure of your absence. Like people grow apart. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
yeah, it seems to be like we're set to fail, but it's also on us to fight for it too. You know?
Yeah.
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 But
No
we
doubt.
tried
No
for a
doubt.
while. We tried for a while and it didn't work out. I wish her well. Like she's the mother of my children. Obviously, I'm gonna always have love for her.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah. Do you guys have the same background?
No, she's Mauritian.
Right, right, right. So,
Yeah, she's from Africa.
um,
But like,
yeah. So because the question was, one of the questions was, why do a lot of successful black men not date women from their cultures? That's what they
well,
wanted
first
me.
of all,
I guess they made an assumption. They made an assumption. I guess maybe they thought
well,
that she was
well,
white, but they
well,
made an assumption.
yeah. Well, first and foremost, like Mauritius is a part of Africa. So she's not outside of the African realm.
Mm,
And second, like I don't take any offense to what she asked. Like that's who I fell in love with.
mm.
You know what I mean? Like
Would
I
you?
wasn't actively looking for. Hey, I need to find like a. This wasn't like a builder baby situation where I'm like I need or Sydney's like Sydney's origin like need her to be from my tribe. Like
Yeah,
I fell
yeah,
in love
yeah.
with that person I fell in love with, and that's who I had kids with.
Right. Because the second question, the follow-up question to that was, I assume again they thought you were married. Would you take a second wife from South Sudan?
I no I'm not married. I'm not married, but I'm in a relationship though.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Is that tough, man, being in a relationship? I imagine, you know, you're doing a lot of traveling, you know, and when you travel, there's going to be a lot of women. Does your partner worry?
No, because we tour together too.
Oh, you tour together?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, is your partner a comic as well?
Yeah, she's a comic, yeah.
Oh, snap. That's dope. Okay, that's super
Yeah,
dope. All right, I didn't know that.
yeah.
That's too dope, man. Bro, I don't know if you've noticed online lately, there seems to be like this gender war happening, right? You
Yeah,
know, women are wanting something different. What do you make of that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
yeah, I do, man. And like for me, like and everyone's got titles for everything these days, right? It's like you
Mm,
say something, oh, you're misogynistic. If you say something, oh, you're anti this, you're this, you're fat shaming, you're whatever, just for speaking the truth.
mm,
Like there was a time where look at it this way, right? Divorce is at 80%. People are forgetting their roles. Like
mm.
I, I myself, if I a heterosexual male want someone that's gonna be wife material, like I'm looking for, and this sounds bad. I'm looking for something that I see in my mom.
Mm. Mhm.
Like values of family, like she knows how to cook. She got recipe books in her, like, you know what I mean. She knows how to cook. It's not, oh fuck, why don't, you know, it's not, none of that. Like a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Like you want a woman that reflects good on you too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just as you'd want a man that reflects good on you. Like nowadays, it's like hot girl summer. Fucking girls can do this, do that. Yeah, that's fine. Like, go for it. Like, I applaud you. But that just takes you off the list for me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's not misogynistic. Like, just like you want a buff guy with six packs, I want a traditional woman. Like, I want one that is gonna reflect good based on my image. And you ain't gotta be at the club with the girls that are single.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, if I'm looking for a party girl, like then that means I'm not active. That means I'm happy just being a party boy myself. But if we're talking about like a relationship, like something that I want to bring
Yeah.
home to my mother, like someone I can see having myself a future with, like I look for someone like my mother.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
why I say that is because my mother took care of us under terrible circumstances. My mom made sacrifices that no one would make, given the circumstances that she had bestowed upon her. She walked countries to ensure that we were safe. She gave up her happiness to make sure that like we survived and that we were given a fair shake at life. Like my mom would give me her last dollar to ensure that I put food in my stomach over her preference. Like I need someone that's of that selflessness. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
because I'm a reciprocate that back to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If we're upstairs and fucking I hear the front door get kicked in, I'm gonna tell you go in the cupboard and I'm gonna go downstairs and address that.
Yeah.
That's my responsibility.
Okay.
To make sure that you're safe.
Yeah.
Like everyone like it's weird like the times we're living right now. Everyone's like, oh, men can do everything men can do. Well, if that was the case, why is there two different teams when it comes to like sports? Why we're not in the same weightlifting competition? Why everyone wants chivalry? Like for example, open the door for the girl. The man should always pay for the meal. That's being chivalrous, right? Which is cool. But then the question is, what do you bring to the table? Like if I want a woman that I can take care of, fend for, fight for, provide for, I don't need you to be one of my dudes.
Right.
I need you to be my woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that means like why you got a G-string on with a see-through dress? Who's that for? Because that's not for me. You feel me?
Well, let me ask you
Now
this, because one of the other, sorry to interrupt you, but one of the other questions that someone wanted me to ask you was, so if you were single, would you date someone with an OnlyFans?
hell no.
Why? Why not?
Why not? Is because that girl is clearly communal.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I've just never heard anyone put it like that. Yeah.
That's clear. She's clearly communal, right? Because
Yeah, yeah.
like, why are you showing everybody what I hold dear and what we see as special? Like, if everybody else can see your breast and your vagina and your buttocks, then why don't we just be fuck buddies then? Because that's already available to everyone else, so that's not special anymore.
Yeah.
Because that's communal. Like, Matter of fact, someone can pay for it for 95, like 9.95 a month. Like, nobody wants to admit this, right? Nobody wants to
Yeah,
admit this, right?
yeah.
Prostitution is the exchangement of currency for for sexual favors.
Fair, yeah.
So if you're on a porn site, which you can call it OnlyFans, showing your vagina to the general public and getting paid for it,
Damn, bro.
that means you are doing what?
Damn. Wow, bro. Never looked at
That
it
means
like
that
that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah.
does that not mean that you're participating in prostitution, right?
Arguably. Arguably. Well, what do you say to someone who argues, well, cost of living is high, gotta do what we gotta do. And one of the
For sure.
biggest arguments that you're gonna get is you're insecure as a man because you don't want to
For
date
sure.
someone with an
For
OnlyFans.
sure. For sure. And for those that say that, it's fine that we don't see eye to eye on this, and we're never going to have this argument because that just means that you're not what I'm after, and which is cool. That just takes you off the table.
Mm, mm.
I'm not resentful or angry about your choices, but you've also got to be respectful for why that can't work for me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want my partner, my girlfriend, my fiance, my wife doing anything that I wouldn't allow my sisters or my daughter to do.
Mm.
So that's not personal at this point. That's like I wouldn't want my grandmother or any female in my family bloodline, or in this case, my partner, doing that. So it's you can't fault me for my values and how I was brought up. That's just how I was brought up. That's how you rock, and that's fine. I respect you. I'm not gonna treat you any differently.
Mm.
And you shouldn't be mad anyway, because that just means that you're not compatible for me. Just
Yeah.
like if a chick saw a guy that was 4'2",
Mm.
she's like, oh no, that ain't for me. That's clearly very acceptable because that wasn't for her.
Mm.
So why are we now toxic, masculine, misogynistic for having standards of our very own as well?
Good point.
You can't be expected to open the door, pay for dinner, and also lay your life on the line. And then when you ask, what do you bring to the table? And it's, oh, my beauty. That's a bad deal.
Well, what do you say to women who say, well, for long periods of time, that was all that women brought, their beauty, and as men, we're the ones that do the chasing. So why is it a problem that her beauty is the only thing that she has?
Well, if you're saying for the longest time that this is what women brought to the table, that same woman isn't at home tending to the kids no more. Those kids are getting dropped off to the daycare.
Mm.
There's a reason why I'm going out there and working long hours, like lonely, traveling from one country to another to bring back the pie to ensure that this nuclear household is together.
Mm.
But if you're not working, plus the kids are getting dropped off to daycare, I'm coming back home after 9 hours of working, and I'm supposed to help you clean the house. Like how's that even trade off?
Mm.
That means you want me to bring 75% of the relationship together because your 50 is not getting done. If the shoe's on the other foot, and it's like, hey, you go to work, and I'll make sure that the house is clean, the dinner's cooked, the kids are taken care of, they're not going to daycare. Like, this is whatever the 8 hours that you would be spending at work. No one's asking you to spend that at home because within an hour you've done everything already.
Mm.
but that should at least be the bare minimum.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I shouldn't be coming back home to help cook dinner. I'm
Mm.
tired. I've risked getting my hands cut off from a bandsaw. Fucking stuff are getting dropped from heights. I could have slipped.
Mm. Mm.
My harness could have broke. I could have died today to
Mm.
ensure that the food is to ensure that the food is put on the table.
Mm.
So why am I now hunting the food and now cooking the food?
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's not toxic masculine. That's not masculine. That is just that's asking the right questions.
Mm.
Are you with the right person?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because marriage is an arrangement.
True
If
that.
I'm gonna go work and you're gonna stay home and look after the kids, that's an arrangement that I know that my kids are safe with you.
Yeah.
Our kids are safe with you. When I come back home, as my reward of working, being out of the house for 12 hours, slaving in a hot warehouse, I'm getting home at 6 o'clock. We shouldn't be having dinner at 7:30 because you were waiting for me to get home at 6 so I could help you make the dinner.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's
Yeah.
toxic masculine. I guess that's what I am, man.
What about what about men's mental health? What are your thoughts on that? Because I like the way you think, bro. I like the way that you know put things into perspective. What do you think about men's mental health? Because a lot of people saying, and I saw someone dropped a comment that basically said, well, you know, the way that things are going right now, men's mental health is down the drain. You know, a lot of men are committing suicide. So, what are your thoughts on that about men's mental health?
Oh, well, the way that men are treated in this society is absolute crap, right?
Mm.
Like, we're told to express ourselves, but we're told to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like a
Mm.
double-edged sword.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
We're told don't bother it in, but be a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
What a lot of the suicide rate in Melbourne in the mines is through the roof. Like guys go away to the Pilbara for 2 weeks at a time. They're working in 45-degree heat.
Oof.
They're away from their family and their kids. Their partner is cheating on them. They're doing 12-hour shifts. They've
Yeah.
they've they've gotten themselves a $800,000 house because of this income that they're making
Mm.
from the
Mm.
mine. But the standard mortgage it goes for 30 years. So this nigga has to work at the mines for 30 years and sees family every 2 weeks for 7 days.
Yeah.
And when he has enough of his job, he can't quit because they've now got a lifestyle that has been created by that income.
Yeah. Damn.
He's stuck. The partner that he's with quite possibly loves him for the money. He's thinking, fuck, if I leave, I got nothing that she wants.
Shit.
So what option does he have after that? You feel me?
Yeah.
And then you look at like there's Men's Mental Health Week.
Mm.
Comes and goes. We got International Women's Day, Father's Day, getting socks and underwear for the like.
True.
How's that a fair trade-off for like putting the lights in the house? As soon as
True
Mother's
that.
Day comes, though, we're talking about fucking Louis Vuitton purses and fucking
Yeah.
watches, fucking trips to Bali.
Yeah.
Like the exchange rate is not like it's not favorable to the man.
Yeah. Well, let me play devil's advocate, however, and say, well, the exchange rate evens out because the woman carries the child for 9 months. What do you say to that?
100%. The woman does carry the child for 9 months, and it's more than just the 9 months. It's the like her body's changing, her hormones. She feels unattractive at some point because of the pregnancy, swollen ankles, can't sleep, but nothing on her back or possibly the side. Like I commend all women for being so miraculous, and like that's nothing short of a miracle. You know what I mean? And as such, they should be treated with the utmost respect. But there's a reason why men have women on a higher plateau. So when you see clips of like women like kidding men publicly, that's not even their boyfriends and stuff. Like one must start to think to themselves, there's a reason why, like that respect that I have for you. The reason why I would never put my hands on you is because I have the utmost respect for you. All I'd want is for the same respect, knowing that I can't hit you, that you don't hit me. Don't make me jump out of character. Like, you hitting me. They say self-defense is self-defense, but we should never get to that, though. But people are forgetting their positions now, though, in society. Like, there was a time when a woman would never put their hands on a man because they know that a man should never put their hands on a woman. But now, if you're just egging that on, and with social media and fucking World Star, and you're actively trying to make this man a bitch. Not everyone's that deep into their therapy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True that.
That's like holding a salami in front of a dog that's on a chain that this close to the dog, but because the dog's on a chain, you know that it can't reach it, and you're like, hey. That dog keeps jumping forward, he might break the chain accidentally.
True.
So we always have to be mindful about repercussions.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm saying this right now, no man should put their hands on a woman. But I think we all have to actively remember that we all have a position to play too. Like, you're on a higher regard because of the miracles that a woman does for society.
Yeah.
You are the creator. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah.
Don't don't make the man feel lesser. But that's how you create the wrong type of man now. Like all that
your forehead and shit, yeah.
Yeah, openly slapping someone at a train station because you know that there's like public bystanders. That's called antagonizing. You're looking for a response, so now you can be the victim. Because no woman that was raised right would put their hands on a man anyway.
True that.
Because they'll have the same mindset, saying, no, I'm a lady, I'm going to behave as such. If I expect this man to be a man and not put his hands on a woman, I know to actively not put my hands on him because a reaction will gauge a reaction.
True.
And that's why that's why I get confused sometimes when I see like with the MMA with the same like transgender versus
woman.
Yeah, I'm like, how are we letting this happen?
Yeah.
And like my whole thing is, this wouldn't be happening if we all accept that we're not the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've got different strengths. They did a test one day, a simulation where they put little tubes on on guys, which simulated how it feels to have contractions.
Mm.
Men couldn't handle that shit.
Wow.
A woman would do that for 24 hours while in labor.
Damn.
We have different strengths.
True.
You are strong in your own beautiful way. But I wouldn't wish a youthly man to go in the ring with my sister.
Mm.
It doesn't matter how much hormone therapy you've had. Your bones are different. Your density is different.
Mm.
My sister, if she's a boxer, or let's say swimming, for instance. If my sister was a swimmer, and then a man, a transition man wins the race, the disadvantages are far greater. We got to remember one thing, right? We got to go all the way back to like early childhood. Once a month, she's gonna miss 6 days of training because of her period.
Mm.
Her hormones are gonna be imbalanced. My ones are not. I can train every single fucking week for 18 fucking years. Calculate 1 week, that's 52. 1 week out of a month, that's 12 weeks.
Yeah. 66. Damn.
Do that over 18 years. Look at how much more training that I got on the strength of me not having to take a day off because of my period. We're not the same.
Yeah. No, you're right. Did you see the there was also the I think it was like under 14 boys soccer. They played against, I think, like the Matildas or something, and they whipped them like
The trash them, bro. The trash them.
yeah.
They smoke them. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, we gotta accept that though. Like we gotta accept we're not the same.
Yeah.
The sooner we do that, because the only people that are missing out are biological women.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Because if you've been training for 18 years of your life, you find like the only people. Do you know who's getting punished? The girl that got robbed, the parents that every single Saturday, 6 o'clock in the morning, was driving them to their fucking swimming lessons.
Investing.
Like fundraiser, selling cookies to fucking to build up capital so you can send her over to compete in the nationals in Sydney. All of those things that were actively done to set you up for success, and you finally make it to the Olympics and you lose to what was a man 2 years ago. You can't help but feel that that's a little bit of a robbery, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I know, man. I'm just a comic.
Nah, but you've got a great outlook on life, man. Tell me something. What are your where do you see or what is your vision sort of like? I don't know whether or not you think like this, but what is your vision of like, you know, the African community in Australia? What is your hope for where we're going to land? Let's say 10, 20 years from now.
10, 20 years from now, I think we're going to be on a better playing field, because that would have given us 50 years of Australian citizenship. Because we're looking like we're talking about like early 90s that we started really kind of coming out to Australia. So most of the disadvantages that we've had, we don't have generational wealth for one, but you're going to start seeing a certain percentage of the first generation that came here with paid off mortgages. So that, which plays a major role in why you and I can't succeed coming here with nothing.
Yeah.
Like it's not can't succeed. It's we're starting off on the bench rather than first base. You know what I mean?
Right.
So now you got the home that is fully paid for that can now be re-inherited, and then the next generation would have it a little bit easier.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
We're still hustling. We're still hustling because let's face it, our 30-year mortgage does not give us a home for us to enjoy. That gives us a home to pay off.
True that. Well said.
But then the kid under you gets the home that's paid off and allows them to now go explore other avenues. For example, university. They don't have to get that job at McDonald's at the age of 14, which I had to get cash. But I think it's actually very important that kids get a job at the age of 14 because it teaches you finance anyway.
Yeah.
But it's no longer about survival. It's about education.
Mm.
So now you got that job because you're educating yourself on finances.
Yeah.
Not getting the job because you needed it to pay for school books and clothes.
True.
Yeah. So I think we're going to be in a better position in the next 50 years. God willing, the next generation is growing and learning with the times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, like not everybody has to be a doctor, a nurse, or police officer, or like doctor, nurse, engineer. You're seeing a lot of people like venturing out into the social media phase, where you got YouTubers now. Some of the highest earning people are online. You know what I mean? So learn how to progressively grow with the times.
Yeah.
We like modern times require modern solutions.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So getting your builder's license, if 20 years from now everything's going to be printed 3D, may not be viable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So you have to actively look into what it is that, like, if we're exploring space options, for example, like SpaceX. Perhaps my child's generation could start thinking about laboratory work.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
analysts, stuff that are gonna, like. There's no point going to university to study petroleum and engineering when petroleum is not going to be a thing of our future.
I got you. I got
So
you.
actively like figure out what it is that's going to be useful and make you a productive member of society in future.
Yeah. What about entertainment-wise? What do you see entertainment-wise, right? So I think because I wasn't here in the 90s, I sort of arrived early 2000s, but I hear some people say that there was like American programming on Australian television. So I don't think we've really had a lot of sort of like African Australian, programming on TVs. Or programs online or on the TV. So what do you sort of want to see? And it doesn't have to be African. I'm just curious. What do you sort of want to see?
I just want to see representation of our people in every field. You know what I mean? Like, let's say if you wanna fix a problem, be a part of the solution. Like, I want to see more black police officers. I want to see more black doctors. It's important that we get ourselves into fields where we could perhaps take that knowledge back home.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, working warehousing is not gonna. If I was to move back to Africa, that wouldn't benefit me in any kind of way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Shit, I completely forgot I gotta call my kids as well. So we do have to wrap it up.
That's all good, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. But thank you so much for your time, man. But yeah, you've given us all the information, so I'm gonna put it on my story as well. And I'm definitely gonna be seeing you in a few days at your show, bro. All the best, brother.
My brother, thank you so much. Sorry it took so long to get it in with you, man. But
Nah, it's all good, bro.
Man. And thanks to everyone that tuned in as well, man. Melbourne, I absolutely love you. I love everybody around Australia. Take care of yourselves, man. Look forward to. Just remember, everything I said today was just my take on things. Don't get offended by anything. Don't get offended by anything. Just my take. That's all it is. I'm allowed to be different.
That's it. Imam Majuk. Thanks, brother. Catch you.
Peace.